You know what I've done the really interesting in episode 14 of the Bad Batch? The Imperial Republic Gunship. Republic Gunship is one of my favorite vehicles in Star Wars, and it was so cool to see it in the Bad Batch with clone commandos. With the video today, we're taking a look at how to make this Imperial Gunship in Lego. Except for the screen part. I don't know if it's supposed to be there or not, but it looks really dope. Like, it looks so dope with the green part. Like, honestly, and I could not change it. And of course, I have the Republic logo there because I don't have Imperial logo, sadly, because I don't have one, sadly. Just very, very sad, guys. Anyways, but this is the Republic Gunship. Imperial Republic Gunship. Well, yeah, Imperial Gunship. And today we're doing a tutorial on how you can make one of your own. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to leave a like and subscribe down below. I really appreciate all the support, and let's get into the video starting now. Now, I understand that some of you may not have all the parts for this thing. I had to take some parts off my Resistance ITS transport just to get this thing to work, along with a few other sets, because my part collection is very small. I don't have a lot of spare parts just laying around, and if I do, they're all being used for the Ravager. Sacrifices must be made to make this amazing model of a gunship. Alright, to find these pieces, it took me about an hour of time, which is a lot of time actually. I thought it was going to take a lot less, but it didn't. So yeah, I stripped these pieces of many Lego sets in my collection. Like, these came from the Death Star, some of these came from the Resistance ITS transport, along with a few other sets in my collection. It's just madness over here of all the parts that I used for this video. Now, looking over here, we have a bunch of pieces, so I'll just let you take a look at those real quick so you can figure out how many you need of each. By the way, there's supposed to be one more of these. I just don't have another one of those in my collection, so just take note of that if you're going to make this model and you're ordering the parts for it on Brooklyn. The first part we're going to look at is this cockpit construction. And I should just be very careful when removing these dark red bricks because they are like the most fragile brick ever that Lego has made, and they break super easily. So I should just be very careful when taking these apart. So I'm going to go into time lapse now, and you can slow it down to like 0.25 speed if you really want to see how I go through each process of taking each brick off and replacing it with something new. But I have to say, I did make one modification to this gunship. So, due to the fact that I did not have this exact part in this size in dark bluish gray, I actually made this contraption right here. It's something very similar to it, but it's not the exact thing. So I just want to point that out to all of you guys. Alright, now that we are done with the cockpit section, that took me about 3 minutes to do. I mean, I was going way fast too, and I've already done it like 3 times for this tutorial. So this took around 3 minutes to do by myself, but in the time lapse it looked like probably 1 minute or 50 seconds. I don't know how fast I speed this up later on, but this is how long it took me to do this process. Now, for this process over here of taking out the engines, that's a little bit more complicated. I'll get into that in a minute though. But right here, when you take off this piece, it's very fragile because it's a big dark red piece, so you gotta be very careful with that. And I don't think this element exists in dark bluish gray or light bluish gray, so you have to use a smaller one when you get the right angle. The smaller one right here, and just put it on like so, and then you have to get one of these bricks and put it right here as well. Now personally, I like dark bluish gray. I think they have this part in dark bluish gray, but I just don't think they have the bigger one. But you can check for yourself if you really want to just buy the bricks for this. You can get the bigger one. Alright, so for this part of the tutorial, we're going to go into a time lapse of how to make this engine. I'm only going to do it once, but just remember that you have to do it twice for both of the engines. So let's get into it. as you can see, this booster is complete, but for some reason this was very hard for me to make, to take apart. I could not take this one apart. It's very hard to, so I would just suggest being very careful with this, or just grabbing the parts that you need from the inside this thing, like the black Technic axle and this gray piece from another like piece in your collection, because it is very hard to get undone. I've tried this many times before, and it is difficult to get undone. Alright, on the wing here, there are some small details you do need to take off, such as this long dark red piece. You can place that with the dark bluish gray one right here, and this vent piece. I'm not sure what it's called exactly, but there it is. You put that on this side over here, and then this dark red piece, which this one is actually going to take it off, so I'm going to do this one off camera. Alright, now that that piece is off. By the way, I didn't replace this piece with that piece because I just didn't feel like it was needed. You know, it doesn't look as good. So I just left it blank right there. And then the last thing you have to get is this dark red piece, which I should just use a brick separator for, because it can be very tricky to get this piece off right here, because it is a dark red piece and they are breakable. And then you just gotta replace it with this one right here. Now again, remember that you have to repeat all these steps on the other side of the gunship, so make sure you do that. Now head to the back end of the gunship. The last and final thing that you have to do is really just take off these green pieces. I know I left them on the front, but in the back I just decided to take it off because it's really simple to do. And I thought it would look really good just to have it like with black colors instead right here. So I put 2 black pieces down here to replace the green pieces. And then we take off this green piece over here. Well, 2 of them actually, because there's 2 of these green pieces. And place it 1 black piece right here. After about an hour of hard work removing all the pieces from the Republic Gunship, this is what your model should look like. Well, you gotta apply them too. But these are all the pieces that you need to take off to make it look the way it does now. I mean, you also could take off that piece there, but I wouldn't because it's just extremely dangerous considering it's a dark red piece, and dark red pieces from 2013 tend to break easily. Also, I did not have enough pieces for the gunship, so there is 1 red one left on there still. A little unfortunate, but these are all the pieces that you will have left over from your Republic Gunship to make it the Imperial Gunship. Alright, so that is all for my tutorial on the Republic Gunship, well, the Imperial Republic Gunship. I keep making that mistake, but I hope all you did enjoy. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe down below. I'll see you all in the next one.